Hey there, Capricorn. It's Keegan. I hope you guys are doing well. I am super excited because you guys are my last reading for this particular series. And I just have to say at the beginning, I'm going to talk for a little bit while I'm shuffling. I know that a lot of people don't like listening to just the talking at the beginning, they want to get right to the reading. So when you see this overlay go away and the cards are down, that's when I'm going to start the reading. You can skip ahead in the video to that point if you don't want to hear what I'm going to say here at the beginning. For those of you who do want to just hear me while I'm shuffling, I want to explain how this reading works and also give a little bit of a disclaimer. So I'll start with the disclaimer because these readings have been fairly intense. And I want to explain a couple of things to you guys. I tend not to do readings on my channel that are focused on the other person. I tend to focus my readings on the people who are listening to me. So I do this because I feel that if I give you information about yourself, you can actually do something about that. You can try to make change. You can try to understand something better. You can explore something about yourself. You can actually implement things that can make your life better. Getting information about the other person might give you confirmation or insight, but there's really nothing that you can do with that information to make that other person change or be different. They have to want that on their own. So that's why I tend not to do these. The other thing is, if you're in a very happy, stable, healthy relationship, you're probably not coming to YouTube to watch tarot readings about it. You're not looking for answers. And because of that, when I do readings that are focused on the other person, they tend to be intense and they tend to maybe not necessarily be the best news. So I wanted to give a disclaimer that if you're not in the emotional state, or if you don't feel that you can tolerate potentially having bad news delivered or getting information that might be upsetting, wait to watch this reading until you're in a better place. Okay, I just wanted to give that disclaimer because these readings have been, for the most part, they've been pretty intense. There have been 2 or 3, I think, out of the 12 that have been, not really intense readings. So I'm happy to be wrapping this up because this has been quite draining for me doing these readings, but I was definitely compelled to do this style of reading for some reason, so I'm doing them and I'm completing them. With that being said, I want to just quickly explain the spread itself and how to utilize these readings. So if you're a Capricorn who clicked on this, just know I'm not talking about you in this reading. I'm talking about the other person that you want information about. So you can watch this and that's going to be insight into that person. If you are in a relationship, that might be your partner. If you're in a relationship and you are considering leaving that person for someone else, you can choose which of those 2 people this particular reading is about. If you're single, but you have an interest in someone, that can be the other person. If you're single and you don't have anyone in particular in mind that you're interested in, you can still watch this reading. It will just give you insight into who's approaching you or who's coming towards you, the next person that will come in as a potential romantic interest, to give you insight into them. So you get to decide who this particular reading is about. Now, if you know the other person's sun sign, for example, if you're a Capricorn and you are interested in an Aquarius, then you can go watch the Aquarius reading as well to get additional insight into the person. So I'm going to give this 2 more shuffles in one cut, and then I'm just going to pull cards right off the top. I might put 1 card down. I might put up to 3, just depending on what I feel in terms of where things want to be. Okay. So I will turn this overlay off for the actual reading. I will remind you what this means, what each of the stacks means, what they're represented. I want that one there. Do 2 here. 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. For those of you who are just joining us here at this part of the reading, welcome. I still think you might want to go back and listen to what I said in terms of explaining things and giving a little bit more insight, but it's your life. You can do with it as you please. So I'm going to start with these 2 decks. This again is who they are and how they're acting. I start with these cards because it gives me insight as to whether this person is presenting any sort of false idea of who they are, whether they're acting differently than who they truly are, or whether there is congruence between these 2 things. So we're going to start with who this person truly is, and that's what these cards are going to represent to me. Is who they are at their core, who they know themselves to be, what is actually going on with this person. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have the 7 of Pentacles, which is reversed, and then the Page of Swords, also reversed. I'm going to start here with this card. This person is someone who likely is a very impatient person. They don't like having to wait. They don't like when things don't go quickly. They don't like when what they have requested that they want doesn't happen immediately. This is someone who there's a lot of it's like someone who's if something is hard, if something's challenging, or it's not happening the way they think that they think that it should, they'll just give up and walk away. I also feel that this person is someone who naturally has a lot of doubt. They doubt things very easily, and I think that actually causes some problems for them. This Page of Swords here, which is also reversed, I just want to talk about this because I think that this person is someone who communicates in a way that it's not necessarily that it's bold-faced lying, but they communicate and they speak in a way that is half-truths. That's what I'll say. They admit enough that they don't feel like they're lying, but they don't actually give the full 100% truth in what they're saying. I also feel very strongly with this that there's potential with this person that, how do I want to say this? You know how there are some people that wherever they go, they tend to just bring conflict with them. And it's not even necessarily that they start it, but they know how to stir the pot. That's what I'm getting from this person in terms of who they truly are. And let's look here in terms of like how they act. We have 3 cards here. I'm just going to flip these over. So in terms of how this person acts, how they present themselves, you have the 3 of Pentacles, which has come out upright. This would, you know, they would appear to be someone who, I just wanted to see what the other 2 cards were. This is someone who, in terms of how they're presenting themselves, how they act, they would be presenting themselves as someone who really likes being around other people. They like to collaborate. They like teamwork. They like being a part of a group and making things happen. You have the 2 of Pentacles as well. So you have the 2 and the 3 here. The 2 of Pentacles is really about you know, someone who looks at a situation, they present themselves as someone who's able to look at that logically and ponder things, make lists of pros and cons, and really make decisions based upon that. And then you have the 6 of Cups, which is also upright here. So the 6 of Cups, when it's upright, is someone who really feels like it's a very nostalgic type of energy. It would be someone who might, you know, give gifts freely, do very nice things for people, someone who is quite romantic. They might even come across as being someone who's fairly innocent. Now, I have a little bit of an issue here already in this reading, and this is why I've said, like, sometimes these readings have been they've been a bit much for me as a reader, because this sounds nice, right, in terms of how they act, but in terms of who they are, this would be someone who acts innocent, who acts like they, you know, are very logical and rational, and they just want to get along, right? That's what this is, how they act. The truth of the matter is that they're, you know, stirring the pot, and they're causing problems, and they're causing conflict. So there's a big discrepancy here between who this person is and how they're acting, what they're actually doing, and how they're portraying themselves. So this is what I mean in terms of these being a little bit intense. Hey there, it's Keaghan, and I am jumping in here in the middle of the reading just to let you know that I've decided to offer a special on readings during the month of October 2020 only. I'm going to have limited spaces for this. After doing these readings, I decided that I feel like a lot of you are going to want to get more information or follow up on these readings, and I know that the world is weird and money is tight, and so I wanted to try to come up with a way that I could still offer personal readings and have them be affordable, so that if you do have more questions, or if you want to explore this a little bit more deeply with me in a personal reading, I might be able to make that happen. So as you can see on the screen, I'm offering 4 different levels is basically $1 a minute for a reading. You can do a 20-minute, 30-minute, 45, or 60-minute reading for me. If you're interested in this, you should send me an email, keaghantarot@gmail.com. You can see how my name is spelled there, so keaghantarot@gmail.com. Let me know which of the readings you want, and I'll send you an invoice, and then that will confirm your slot. And again, there will be limited spaces, so if you're interested in this, let me know as soon as possible. I will be posting all of these readings all at the same time, so everyone gets a fair shot at claiming their seat. And if I do run out of spaces, I will let people know that if I still get emails beyond what I have capacity to do during the month of October. I'm going to send you right back into the reading now. So we're going to go ahead and move up here because I want to see what's going on in this person's mind. Where is their mind? Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles, and then you have the Lovers coming out reversed. So let's talk about this Four of Pentacles. In terms of this person's mindset and what they're really thinking about, they're focused mostly on their own security. They're trying to figure out ways to ensure that their stability in terms of long-term stability, their ability to keep things the way that they want them to be or keep things the way that they are. They're focused on trying to figure out how to make sure that that happens. In their mind, in terms of what they're thinking about in terms of relationship, when the Lovers is reversed, this represents a place where there's potential for breakup or divorce. They're thinking about arguments. They are potentially thinking about doing things or making decisions that would be harmful to an existing relationship. So in this person's mind, again, it's more of this that I'm picking up on. This would be a situation of trying to figure out kind of how to have your cake and eat it too, right? Not wanting to do anything to disrupt life or how things are, not really wanting to be put into a situation where they have to lose anything or make any sort of changes, but also really doing things or making decisions or thinking about things that would put the relationship at risk. See what's going on here in terms of the heart. So you have Temperance coming out upright, and then you have the Three of Swords reversed. Yeah, I just don't know if I want to do this type of reading again. I am asking people to leave me comments, letting me know if these readings, what you think about them, if they're helpful, if you like them. But I would much rather just be talking to you guys about yourself, because I feel like you have to know this about this person, right? But let's talk about what's going on in their heart. So in their heart, there is, Temperance, which on its own, Temperance is a great card when it's upright because it's about balance and harmony. It's about finding peace in a situation, compromising, really trying to keep things in balance, right? So if that was the only card there, great. I feel like, I can't go back and watch it right now because I'm recording this, but I feel like I almost just put this card down, and then instinctively I was like, no, this one goes here. Because this card totally changes what's going on in their heart. Because the Three of Swords, when it's reversed, is the card about really painful experiences. It's about, a need for apologies of some sort, or it can actually also represent some level of someone who is, either being a fraud or is perpetuating some type of fraud. They're faking something. So because of this card being here with Temperance, it's pointing me into a place where in their heart, they realize what they're doing is wrong. They realize that they probably need to make apologies. They realize that they're actually probably creating some sort of very painful experience, but they're trying to just keep things balanced. They're trying to not have this be something that leads to chaos. Their desire in their heart is to keep things as they are, to keep things from going sideways, to keep things from going off the rails. But they're also dealing with this in terms of where their heart is. Let's see this person's future. We have the Hierophant, which is reversed. So the Hierophant on its own represents things such as marriage, lifestyles which are more traditional. So family, marriage, kids, that type of life, that type of domestic life. It can also represent things like spiritual and religious institutions, but it's doing things in a way that's very conventional. When it's reversed, it represents someone who's going against that, someone who's rebelling against what would be considered to be the norm. you know, in this person's future, they plan to go against what would be considered to be traditional. If this is a situation where, um, if this is a situation in which you have a long-term lasting relationship with someone and you have suspicions about whether or not they're wanting to stick with it, if you just look at the three cards that are showing here, the Lovers reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Hierophant reversed, this would represent someone who's thinking about causing damage to a relationship, thinking about leaving a relationship. In their heart, they know that they are probably causing, you know, a painful experience to manifest. Ultimately, in the future, they're going to make the decision to go against anything that's traditional, anything that resembles that sort of committed standing. Capricorn, I'm sorry. I do want to say here, I don't know who's going to listen to this, okay? So in the situation in which you are the partner to this person, this reading is bad news. Now, if you are someone who is involved with someone and you're hoping that they might leave a relationship, this might not necessarily be a bad reading, because ultimately I feel like they will leave that relationship. But you still have to deal with this. Who this person is and how they present themselves is not aligned. So even if you are hoping this person leaves another person for you, this over here, everything I talked about at the beginning, is who you're going to end up with. Okay, so I just want to emphasize that. Even if you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh, this is great news because it means they're going to leave. Well, yeah, but there's still this person. You need to be aware of that, because this is who they truly are, what I talked about at the beginning. Secrets. I feel like this is going to be interesting. Okay, in terms of secrets here, you have the Devil card coming out upright with the Two of Cups upright. So let's talk about what these cards mean when they're here together, okay? So the Two of Cups does represent a romantic type of love partnership. It's about someone choosing to form a connection with another person that has a certain level of seriousness to it. It's making a choice to commit to another person. So I do feel like this person is probably guarding the fact that they have made a decision ultimately to partner with someone, potentially new, someone new, okay? The Devil card coming out here upright, it's I feel like this person is utilizing sex and the connection feeling kind of risky. Okay, let's talk about the Devil card. I want to make this part very clear, okay? This person ultimately has made a decision about a relationship. I feel like it's a decision to move into a new relationship with someone, based on everything I'm seeing here. If you have the Lovers reversed coming out in their mind, you have the Hierophant in terms of their future, which is reversed. This would indicate, since this card is upright and it's a secret, that they've made a decision, but they haven't made it known. Okay, they're thinking about how to leave something else for something new. The other aspect of the secret, though, is that this decision to be with this person, I don't think that it's necessarily based on actual love. The Devil card is about temptation and seduction. It's about lust, the sexual aspect of things. There's also a certain level of like an addictive type of quality to this. The Devil card also represents envy. So it feels to me like the real reason this person is choosing to follow this isn't necessarily because there's a deep connection. The true meaning behind that is that they're just it's lustful. It's not necessarily based on love or romance. I would feel like they probably are presenting it based on this, how they act. They're probably presenting it as if it is a very romantic type of thing. But the truth of the matter is, it's very much based on just superficial things, right? So it's like they want this person so that they can say they have them, more so than they want this person because they care about this person. Let's see about the plan. You have the Nine of Wands coming out upright. That's come out with the Seven of Swords, which is reversed. Let's start here with the Nine of Wands. So this person's plan really involves trying to keep everything blocked off. This is a card about boundaries. It's about exerting strength and having perseverance. So the plan for this person really is about trying to keep everyone in their own corners, everyone in the dark, making sure no one finds out about anyone else, making sure that this aspect of how they're acting versus what they're actually thinking about or who they truly are isn't revealed. Their plan is to make sure that that happens, that the boundaries that they've set in place remain. The Seven of Swords here coming out reversed. This card itself is about someone being caught, right? When this card is this way, it's about someone getting away with something, some sort of betrayal where they get away with it. When it's reversed, it means that they get caught. But their plan, I don't think, is to get caught. I think their plan is to try to ensure that they don't get caught. I think they're actively figuring out ways to prevent this from happening by ensuring that they're doing things to keep people unaware of each other. Their goal. Okay. Nine of Swords here, coming out reversed as well. So the Nine of Swords is really about, being in a place where you're kind of like, it's an interesting card because there are two potential meanings of it. On one hand, it can represent being in a state in which you are taking a break and you're trying to recover from something. You're trying to rest and recover and heal. From the other side of the card, it can represent being in a place in which there's just a lot of really intense and extreme energy that almost feels like tormenting type of energy. I think their goal, the one redeeming thing from this reading, their goal ultimately, I think, is to come clean. Again, like I've said, they have made a decision. It's just in secret. And I think their goal is ultimately to reveal that. But there's something here that's preventing them from doing it. And I think it's really just because they like having the attention of both people involved. And they're gonna ride it out until the very last minute and then reveal the decision that they already know they've made. Okay, let's get an oracle card for you guys. Again, I want to hear from you about what you think about these readings. For me, I just feel like this is a bummer. But for you guys, you might feel like this is just exactly what you needed to hear and that was super helpful. So please let me know in the comments what you think. I do like to do readings that the people who are subscribed or the people who eventually watch the readings benefit from. And so I'm definitely asking for feedback in the comments about what you thought about this reading. And again, I do recommend, if you know the person's sun sign, go and watch that reading as well, just because it might give you a little bit more insight. And like I've said, most of these readings that I've done have been like this. There are only 2 or 3 that weren't this type of thing. So I feel like if you do watch one reading and then you go watch the sun sign reading of that person, it's probably just going to give you even more confirmation. Let's see what this oracle card is, okay? So this card says there is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. And I think what this means is, regardless of who you are in this scenario, whether you're the person who might potentially be left or whether you're the person who might be the choice that they make in leaving someone else for you, it's really important that you find a way to be honest and truthful and stand in a place of fairness and owning yourself, because my concern is that if you are hoping someone will leave someone else, and from your perspective, the person is saying to you, I just need more time and I'm not really sure and I don't want to hurt them, and they're playing it up to be this very hard decision for them, but ultimately they know what they're going to do. And if it's either they're not going to choose you because they want to stay with who they are currently with and they're just using you for sex and fun on the side, or they're going to choose you, but you're just going to be kind of like they got you, and then they'll do this again. I don't like this energy. So just be careful and guard yourself and really think about, you know, do you want to get someone in a way that hurts another person and also potentially puts you in a position to be hurt as well? So Capricorns, let me know in the comments. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't enjoy doing these readings, to be quite honest with you, because they just feel like bad news. But we'll see how they're perceived. We'll see what people say. I'm just, giving you a big virtual hug right now. And I will be back with other readings that are much more the style that I typically do. That maybe it will feel a little bit more optimistic and give a little bit more guidance into how to navigate this. So I'll see you guys soon. And again, I'm happy to be done with this series. Okay. Love you, Capricorns.